Welcome to Envision Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success presents The Momentum Shift. A show where we get inspired, we get moving, and we get results. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with your host, Eric Collier. He's the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, bringing you inspiring interviews and empowering stories that will help to improve lives. If you're ready to start making the impossible possible, then you've joined the right show, because the momentum shift is what you've been looking for.
Because you keep whining about it and you tell A and you tell B and you go here and you go here. And every time you look, you have the same pocket of people that you're talking to. Yeah. But none of those people in that pocket is stepping out to be a part of the solution. Right. So then, of course, it continues. Yeah. So it leads from one generation to the next and next and next. And the history is, oh, you know, my grandmother used to talk about that, or my mom used to talk about it. Okay, now you're talking about it.
Yeah.
But what are you doing about it?
Hello and welcome to the Momentum Shift, a show designed to get you inspired, get you moving so you can get results. Hello, I'm Eric Collier, the mayor of motivation, and I'm excited to be here with you today. Every episode, I promise you, is going to be full of nuggets for moving yourself forward. Why? Because this show is designed to help you unlock your potential, shatter those barriers that you're facing, so you can create some momentum shifts that really turn your life around. We want you to turn the impossible into possible for you. Again, I tell you, I'm excited because I always have a guest on here that has been through what we're talking about here, what we're trying to help you with. And she's going to bring some nuggets to you. And she is Miss Beverly BJ Dawkins. She's a purpose-driven leader and the CEO of Helping Hands Empowering and Lifting People, better known as HHELP, or is it HHELP?
HHELP.
HHELP. And her journey is fueled by an unwavering commitment to empower individuals and families impacted by addiction. So at the start of all of this, HHELP, there's a relentless mission to be a beacon of hope, supporting those battling substance abuse in Maryland, the District of Columbia, and Virginia, including immigrant communities facing unique challenges. So ladies and gentlemen, she's a speaker, she's the catalyst and advocate of and dedicating her life to really helping others. So introducing my guest, Miss BJ Dawkins. BJ, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invitation.
Did I leave anything out? Because I know you're doing a lot.
No, you didn't. It's a lot to do and a lot to say.
Well, like I said, thank you for joining me. We were talking about HHELP, and it's Helping Hands Empowering and Lifting People. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
HHELP started, unfortunately, because of my daughter. It's a personal story, personal journey.
Okay.
Where my daughter passed away from addiction, from alcoholism and prescription drugs at 35 years old in 2021. Okay. Left a child, somebody that was moving up the line and, lost it. The thing what a lot of people don't know about addiction is it affects the individual, but it's also the effects and the after effects on us, the loved ones and the families. And oftentimes the journey is, let's do something for that person. Yeah. But whether that person recovers or not, what happens to us? What do we do?
Okay.
And when she passed, I made a promise that the way she spiraled, I will do something for others. Okay. So my journey is the effects and the after effects of what addiction does to us, the loved ones.
Okay.
And when she passed, she left her son. He's almost 14 years old. And there is effects on him because while she was pregnant, she was drinking and taking the prescription drugs. Okay. So there's visibility of certain things.
Got you.
So again, we go back to the after effects.
Yes, definitely. The traumas, the embedded habits, behaviors, and responses. Right. Yeah. So I normally start off with this question. I mean, because you hit an area that's really sensitive, and I can tell you, watching people during COVID, because that's 21 is during that COVID time frame, you saw a lot of people, the liquor stores stayed open. People were making trips to the liquor stores, and they were really, if they were in
liquor
that habit.
stores on the banks.
Yes, yes, exactly. So, but I want to ask you, my question to ask everybody when we first started, is what does momentum shifting mean to you, and how has it affected your change and how you move, how you operate?
It has channeled, energized, but anger
Okay.
was a very big part of it. Not anymore. But first I was angry. I was angry with her. I was like, how dare you? We're from the Caribbean. So I look at it, I said, okay, we're social drinkers.
Okay.
We are not known. Yes, growing up as a child, we saw Uncle so-and-so or Aunt so-and-so intoxicated, but we dare not question them.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking and I'm like, what is going on? And the combativeness that occurred and the denial and everything. And when we moved from one area of Silver Spring to another, my grandson showed me a lot of empty bottles. I mean, she was drinking gin and vodka, and because it looked like water, she told everybody, she said, well, my mom doesn't know because she think it's water. She think I'm drinking water. She's always encouraging me.
Yeah.
So the fact that you lied to me repeatedly, but most importantly, the fact that you've left a legacy of negativity on your son.
Right.
It's a problem for me. So yes, I was angry. After her service, I came home, I took the urn, I threw it out the door. And when it didn't pop open, I went and got a hammer. I was so angry. I got the hammer, and when I came back, my girlfriend had moved it.
Okay.
And I said, okay, you'll stay around for a minute. And that was it. But after that, I said, okay, what can I do? How can I do this?
Right.
Now that I'm not reading about this, no one is telling me about it. This is not hearsay. This is an actual walk I'm walking.
Gotcha. You
because I watch her spiral out of control. And a lot of people don't understand that addiction has no bias.
Right.
It does not discriminate.
Right.
It does not matter whether you're a billionaire or you're on the bottom of the totem pole.
Right.
Addiction is addiction. So after the anger, I realized that, yes, acknowledge that it's a disease. But my problem is, where did it start? Where did it originate?
Because I'm somebody who believes that the largest gap an individual will face is the gap that stands between where they are now and what they could become. So the question becomes, are you willing to climb? The greatest trick the mind will ever pull is convincing you that your greatness does not exist. Mama used to say, she said, Eric, what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And she means that you reap what you sow. You get what you put in. And so you got to put the work in. Why? Because you're going to step your game up and tap into that untapped potential of yours and become the greatest person that you could possibly become.
I woke up, I was about to lose everything. And so my wife was about to leave me, and that meant my 3 children were going to be gone, which really hurt me because I would fall short on a promise to my kids where I told them that I was their father. Nobody would ever be in their house taking care of them. Nobody would be responsible for them. They never had to worry about calling anybody daddy but me. Momentum shift. When you get stuck, you got to find a way to get going. And that is all about elevating your performance. You have to realize that high-level results are not products of low-level effort. So you got to step your game up. So you get stuck, you got to get yourself moving. And when you're down in the dumps, you're the only one that's going to be there. So you got to be your own hype man. What happens is when you don't realize that you have all that you ever need to create the life that you want to live, you're missing out. You're standing at the base of that mountain thinking and hoping somebody's going to save you when all you got to do is take action. Theodore Roosevelt said, he said that the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena with their face marred in dust with sweat and blood. You got to get in the arena, claim your moment, take the opportunity to take your shot. Then when you're in that arena, think about this. I got to step my game up.
Eric's message was extremely powerful.
The power of overcoming is not just connected to you. You're rising because the people behind you are counting on you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
And we think it originated from my son.
Okay.
So May 11th, 2006, my 21, almost 22-year-old son got carjacked in Prince George's County and shot in the back of his head.
Oh, okay.
I have a son that's going to be 40 in June that has traumatic brain injury, unable to do anything for himself.
All right.
She and I heard the shots because he was in the parking lot of a building that we lived. We heard the shots. So we're thinking that maybe that was one of the triggers of her dealing with her brother.
That was her coping mechanism.
Yes, okay. Yes. But she hit it very well. Yeah. This is someone that worked at Deloitte & Touche, worked at National Academies of Science, National Science Foundation, and the Federal Reserve. Okay. So again, she wasn't unemployed.
Right.
She wasn't homeless. She had family and friend support. So somewhere along the line, something happened and she lost control. And then, God said, every time you get close, I bring you back, and you're still doing it. So let me bring you home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to, when I read your story, I read this, I had to, it hits me close to home because I grew up in a house, with drug addiction and alcohol addiction as well. And it makes for a tough environment. It really makes for a tough environment. And there are people who can't deal with it. And then there are people who, like your daughter, who are, I forget the word that you use, but they're functional. Okay, that's it. They're functional.
Yeah.
They're able to operate. And then, like you said, it doesn't discriminate. It can hit you in all colors, races, financial backgrounds as well. Yes. And so you see that a lot with the celebrities. These celebrity families where it looks like they've got it all going on, they're happy. Yeah. Nah, there's something inside that's eating them up.
Yeah. It's very tiresome. It's painful.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that there are not days that I haven't sat down and said, oh my God, I should not be doing this.
Yeah.
But if I help one person at a time, one family at a time,
right,
then it's worth it.
So so I always talk about when that momentum shift happens, there's an aha moment. I know your daughter passed. That's a painful moment, and you were angry. But what was that aha moment that said, you know what, I got to flip the script on this because this is not the way I want to live, and this is not the way I want my grandson to live or anybody else to have to deal with?
So it actually started before in kindergarten when I took him to school and I was told that he would just space out.
Okay.
And he's a sweet young man. And I'm like, space out. So, popped in one day, watched him, and he was just zoned out. I said, oh no, that's not good. So that's where it started, but I kind of put it on the back burner.
Okay.
And then as I watched,
there was a gut in there, that gut feeling there. Yeah.
There you go. It's like something is there, but let me watch it.
Okay.
So then I noticed, like, for instance, as a child, you would say, okay, make sure your room is clean, and you jump on it. Yeah. You would tell him, make sure your room is clean. He's standing there looking at you like a deer in headlights.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is not good. So anyway, I did evaluation and assessment. So my mojo moment was when I found out that she's not going to be here.
Okay.
And she's not going to recover. That was the moment.
Gotcha.
When she was not going to recover to take care of her son, take care of herself, take care of her son. And she was my backup plan for my son, for her brother.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I have my son at home. So the backup plan was she would fill in, if I'm no longer able to.
Right.
Right. So that was my mojo moment, was when I got that call that we need to come, and I'm like, what? And choice words were used.
Yeah.
And
you were really angry.
Yes. And I refused. I did not go to the hospital to see her because I didn't want to see her like that.
Yeah.
I did not. And two of her friends, classmates, was there the whole time, and they gave me feedback and everything. I authorized whatever procedure, anything needed to be done. But that was my mojo moment right there when I was told everything was downhill.
Okay.
No coming back.
Got you. How long did it actually take you to actually go, I flip the script on it, to shift momentum? Was it months?
I'm going to say maybe weeks, but the anger was still so prevalent that I had to get the anger under control first.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I come to someone, if I was coming to you or the neighbor next door and want to say something, I can't, it would defeat the purpose.
Got you.
So I had to go into my quote unquote, my girlfriends call me the boss mode.
The boss mode. Okay.
Yeah, that I'm the boss lady. So I'm always delegating something, I need you to do this. You can do this. Oh, I don't want to. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, this is what I want you to do. So the boss mode came in. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I reached out to a friend. I said, can you help me create a website? And he took too long. So Google and I became the best of friends. How do I do this?
I'm going to do it myself.
Yes. How do I set this up? Okay. Didn't have AI at the time to say, okay, give me the verbiage.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I said, okay, let me just put myself in it the way I'm supposed to. And that's what I did. I wrote it exactly how I was feeling.
Okay.
And then I started channeling various channels. Okay, I can focus on addiction. I can focus on helping immigrants. I can focus on so many things, but then I had to curtail it to say, focus on addiction because that's the problem. Yeah. But then we need to find out what the root of the problem is.
Okay.
So we're not a big nonprofit. We're a small nonprofit located in Silver Spring. However, I'm sorry, we're not a big nonprofit yet.
Here we go.
Yes. So currently we're doing local. Okay. But last year I decided to turn again. This time I didn't even do a U-turn. I did a full 360.
Okay.
We have a problem in the high schools.
Yes.
With addiction. And we have not just fentanyl, it's all of them.
Yes.
But when you have Narcan, when the schools have to provide Narcan for your students, my family, your family, that's a problem.
Yes.
That's a problem.
I've been mentoring at the high schools now. I've coached up there for years. I coached, but I just started mentoring about right before COVID hit. And we were just amazed at kids coming to school and they're high. Like, what's going on that you have to get high before you come to school, and then you're sneaking out to get high during? What is going on? And that's a challenge that we got to look at. And I go back to, when I was growing up, you're like, well, there's a lot going on at home, because if if a teacher saw a student sleeping in school, they just thought they just sleeping and not paying attention. They didn't realize the things that are going on in the background. And so these kids are dealing with adult problems in some cases.
Yeah. It's sad. We have recently I heard about a 14-year-old that's at Children's Hospital that OD'd on fentanyl. The problem was he had just gotten in the country, not even 6 months. Okay. Someone gave him a packet and he held it, and that was it.
Wow.
The mother didn't know what to do because she's undocumented. So she got afraid. She said, they're going to blame me. But we found out that someone gave him something to hold. So of course, immediately I told my grandson, somebody wants you to hold something, it's no.
Yes.
If they want you to watch something, it's no.
Exactly.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Because the word is no. They don't have to like you. You don't have to be the popular kid. It's no.
Exactly.
And he was on the school bus. Somebody gave him something. And when he got off, he took the package home, and she found him in his room afterward. He's still on life support.
Wow.
So so again, we go back where addiction has no demographic.
Nope.
And you don't have to be a user to be affected by it.
Yeah, so true. And I think there's this, it's a crazy thing, but people run around and they trust their drug dealer. I'm like, your drug dealer's in a business. He's gonna graduate you from marijuana to simple stuff to the hard stuff because it's money for him. And if you
Right.
die, it's big business for him or her. And so,
But you have these little kids coming to school with envelopes.
yeah,
And they have pills and they're selling it in the
yeah,
bathrooms. And
yeah,
then the school resource officer can only do so much. There's so many children.
yeah,
There's not enough resources. We live in a quote unquote, one of the wealthiest counties
yeah,
in Maryland. But we have one of the biggest problems.
exactly. Yeah,
You know, we're right next to DC.
big time. And then
So
they'll drive into DC and get it. They'll go to Baltimore and get
they
it.
go to Baltimore to get it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they have people that's bringing the stuff in. And
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of times, oftentimes it's people that we look at and say, no, they wouldn't be using, but they're not
Right.
using, they're just selling.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like you said, they're the businessman or woman.
yeah, right. And you can't tell who's using unless they're really strung out. There are people, like you said, are functional. They're going to work every day and they're operating at a high level under these drugs, and you have no idea. So talk to me a little bit. You have a business background because you just jumped in, you took charge, and you figured this thing out. So do you have a business background? How did you how did you just get in and go, this is what I'm doing, this is the business, this is what we're doing, give me some money, let's make it happen.
So I'm a Jamaican by way of New York.
All right.
Okay, so that's two answers right there, right?
Yes.
I'm a Jamaican by way of New York, and I'm used to being involved in various organizations where I'm always helping the community and so on and so forth. So one, that's part of the experience. The second part is I had a management company for a long time.
Okay.
And I managed properties from here to Delaware.
Okay.
Okay, that's two. Number three, I worked for Kaiser Permanente for a while.
Yes.
And actually, a couple of years before my daughter passed. So the experience that coming in, and in New York, when you do volunteerism, that counts more than what you get paid for.
Really?
Because when you do your resume, they split that resume and look for community activities to see if you can give your time freely and you're dedicated to it, then I'd bring you as an employee.
Okay.
Because that means I don't have to pay you to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of mentality.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Service oriented.
Yes.
I've
always been a go-getter. I've always been I'm the shortest one in my family. So, but I'm the smartest. Not I think I'm the smartest. So
a little feisty, but like you said, bossy, huh?
Bossy. So what happened is I'm one that don't take no for an answer.
Okay.
I come up with the problem, the solution, and how do I implement it?
I like it. Okay.
I don't complain and said I don't have a plan. Trust me, when I start complaining, I already know what should happen.
Right.
Okay, how do you do it? You know, okay, I'll volunteer to implement it. That's me. I'm from a law enforcement family.
Okay.
So most of my mentality come from my dad.
All right.
My dad was my role model, so it comes from him.
Got you. You had him wrapped around your pinky finger.
Yes. I was the only girl, and I'm the youngest and the shortest and against the smartest. So yes,
She said the smartest.
You know. Oh yeah, smartest. I mean, yeah.
I love it. So
but it's you know, I'm about solutions.
Yes.
So we come up with the problems. What do we do? How do we fix it?
Yeah.
You know, it's good enough when we complain, but instead of just complaining, be a part of the satisfaction, the implementation, the success. Don't just be the complainer. Be a part of the solution.
Yeah, and you got to take action, right? Not just
and that's when you move
and whining about it.
Yeah. Because you keep whining about it and you tell A and you tell B and you go here and you go here. And every time you look, you have the same pocket of people that you're talking to. Yeah. But none of those people in that pocket is stepping out to be a part of the solution. Right. So then, of course, it continues. Yeah. So it leads from one generation to the next and next and next. And the history is, oh, you know, my grandmother used to talk about that, or my mom used to talk about it. Okay, now you're talking about it.
Yeah.
But what are you doing about it? True. You know, so that's me. always been a go-getter. Always want the best for people.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to step in to help those people that you want the best for.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know how to do it. Not that they don't want to. Sometimes they just don't know how to do it. So be a helping hand, which is where helping hands, empowering and lifting people come. So when somebody reach up for help, don't knock them down. Reach down and pull up.
Yeah, definitely.
Help them make that walk. Give that first step, just like toddlers.
Yeah.
You know, you hold that baby and you say, okay, we're going to step left foot, right foot. That's the same thing you do when you're helping people. So helping hands is about, how do I empower you? How do I help you get out of your situation?
Yeah.
I may not be able to help you, but I can guide you to where that help is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's what leaders do. You're influencing others. You're helping create a legacy, help them create a legacy, as well as you creating your own legacy of being someone who is helping, who's walking the talk, and just empowering other people. So when you go and you help them, and are you putting them in a housing, or are you getting them to the treatment? How exactly do you help them?
So it varies. And I'll give you an example. So we have a situation where there's a family of 4. Dad is alcoholic, but then mom is a dealer.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Children are smack in the middle. We don't know how much the children are exposed to. Anyway, they got evicted. And the thing is, okay, what do we do?
Yeah.
And I've always said, I'm from the old school where hustlers, real hustlers, used to put something aside just in case.
Yes.
These people are about promoting, you know, I drive a luxury vehicle, I do this, I live here. But then you're doing something bad, and you have no way of succeeding if that fails. And you have people, children, wife, so on. So anyway, I was able to get a landlord that was willing to provide housing on condition that the father stayed clean, because he seems to be the safer one. And I'm like, how is he the safer one? He's an alcoholic. Right. But he's one of those functioning alcoholics.
Okay.
So I got him into a treatment center recently, and I'm, you know, building an associated group to help as needed. Yeah. So I have a counselor that I'm, you know, introduce him to, and we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
When it comes to housing, depends on what the housing situation is, we'll recommend. Sometimes we'll have people that say, you know, I have a vacant condo, or that we can put somebody in on condition.
Okay.
That they're okay. But it's some chances you're taking, because it depends on what level they're at when it comes to their using or dealing. Oftentimes Montgomery County will step in and will provide help when requested.
Okay.
So I'm building these relationships as I go.
Gotcha.
And as I build these relationships, I said, oh, I have a problem. I need your help. Okay. I can't help you, but John Brown can help you.
Okay.
So John will say, I have a place in Only that you can go to. Call them, tell them I sent you, tell them what the situation, and, you know, take it from there. So that's how it goes. It's basically word of mouth recommendation.
All right.
But we have a coalition of people that's willing to help.
Okay. I like it. It takes a community, right? It's not one organization gonna be able to do it by themselves.
No.
And I think, and I have to ask, because you knowing how addiction works, and knowing that there are triggers that call them back when they're trying to get clean. How do you operate in that? Because I know in your heart you really want them to succeed, and you get, you know, you start caring about them, you're helping them, and then they go back, and then you lose them. How do you cope with that? How do you adjust and deal with that?
So again, I walked in that shoe because my daughter got kicked out of 25 different rehabs.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
If someone in Montgomery County says they ask for help and they don't get it, something is wrong.
Gotcha.
Because and I'm talking high-end rehabs, you know, whether it's with a tennis court or swimming pools, whatever. It's not the rehabs that when I was growing up, you know, you're in a halfway house at the corner. It's not like that. Yeah. So I'm mentally prepared for that a lot of people that I'm going to help will fail. But at the same time, like I told them, you have to want the help.
Yeah.
I can do everything for you. I mean, I can do everything with you, but I cannot do it for you.
Yeah.
You have to want to help, and you have to put, okay, am I doing this for my child, or am I doing this for my husband or my wife? No, you need to do it for you.
Right.
When you start helping yourself, then you can help others.
There we go.
And this is, in a sense, my therapy.
Okay. I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, how is it given you, has it given you more meaning and value, or has it added more meaning and value to your life? Or do you feel as though you're living a purposeful life now?
Yes.
Are you feeling stuck, dreaming of a life beyond your current boundaries? I'm Collier, and I've been where you are. Now, as an international speaker, 3-time international best-selling co-author, veteran, and the host of the Momentum Shift podcast and radio show, I've dedicated my life to helping people just like yourself embark on a transformative journey to unlocking your inner greatness. With my wealth of experience and a proven track record, I guide individuals to break through barriers and create life-changing momentum shifts. Having been featured in news and magazine articles, on television shows, and spoken on stages like the National Press Club and Columbia University, my message has inspired people worldwide to turn the impossible into possible. On my show, the Momentum Shift podcast and radio show, I'm committed to sparking a movement that empowers others to shift momentum in their lives, offering motivational insights, interviews, and thought-provoking discussions. If you are ready to redefine what's possible and unlock your potential, then subscribe to my mailing list for exclusive content and updates. Join a community of motivated individuals just like yourself on the path to greatness. Subscribe now and transform your life at CericCollier.com.
Yes, because I expected at this time I should be traveling and doing other things, being on a cruise, dancing, doing other stuff, chilling on the beach or something. But yeah, this has been another life cycle itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Because now I have a teenager that I'm raising. Well, a tween or teen. I don't know. Anyway, it's the one before teen.
It was a preteen and preteen.
No, they call it tween.
Oh, they call it a tween. Okay.
Yeah, they have a different name now. When they turn 13, they're a tween.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have that young man. The good thing is he's pretty good. He's very much aware of what's going on with his mother. What happened with me was he was taking care of his mother before I found out. And she was only away from me for 2 years when everything fell apart.
Yeah.
And then one day he says, BB, he calls me BB. He says, BB, why are there bottles in my dresser drawer? This is after I didn't even realize she lost her home.
Oh, okay.
She told me she was coming to stay with me for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But then I saw everything started coming in.
Okay.
So that's when we realized she lost her home. And when I opened the drawer, I saw a bottle of gin. I saw Jose was under her pillow.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I saw the gin and, little things. And I said, wait a minute, something is wrong. And of course, she was still in denial.
Yeah.
And he was helping her. He was helping her. She would tell him, go get her a bottle out of the fridge, and he would go and get it.
Yeah.
So I had to sit him down at 5 and say, the only thing you're supposed to do at 5 and 6 years old going up is to have fun and be a kid.
Right. Yeah. Because you're giving him the okay to go get some liquor. Now you're going to get getting started on that. That's
So it's funny. I'm famous for making rum punch, Caribbean rum punch, real rum punch, right? And one day I had some, and I said to him, I was sitting beside him, and he said, "Oh, that smelled like what my mom drank."
Yeah.
And I said, so you can pick up the smell. That's how obvious it is. Yeah. And he could pick up the smell. And I said, you know what? Yeah. So I said to him, I really hope you don't pick that up. He's like, no, I saw what he did to her.
Yeah.
And when social service took him from her in 2016, the social worker was in tears. Mm-hmm. She said when, because my daughter called to say she was going to commit suicide and take her son with her. and they sent an officer over. When they sent an officer over, by then she's homeless. Because I've told her, I said, you can't be in the house with me with us, and you're not listening.
Right.
And when the officer got there, officer called back to his commander and says, she's inside sleeping. And he told her, he told his officer, he said, stay there. Don't move. If she gets into her vehicle, arrest her, but otherwise don't move. Don't move. So by the next morning, child welfare came in. And when they got him, my grandson told him, I want to go to my BB. My BB worked for Kaiser. And they, of course, they're calling, they can't get me. But this is what happened. The worker said as she was walking out, she's holding the wall, and my daughter is holding the wall, walking. And my grandson says, it's okay, mommy, I got this. We got this. We can do this. That means he has done this before.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got you. Hold my hand. I got you. And the worker said, she said, the tears was just flowing because I'm looking at him. He's 5.
Yeah.
You know, and that thing just tore me up. So I got my days.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, he's forced to be an adult at that time. He's taking care of his parent.
Yeah. So now I go into protective mode with him. I watch him, not to suffocate him.
Yes.
Just in case I need to step in on something.
Right.
And we have conversations, great conversations, and we talk.
Yeah,
I hear a lot of other things that I didn't know.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you deal with does he have to go to therapy and coaching and mentor?
He's on therapy right now, as we speak. He's on Zoom with his therapist.
Oh, that's good. Help him learn how to deal with that and move forward. That's good. So when you do what you do, so when you take in families and you move forward with the families, are there programs for them that you work with in the community that you connect them with as far as jobs and housing again, or how does that work?
So that part of it goes directly to the agency that I recommended them to.
Okay.
But I'm in the process of changing that. I'm in the process of adding that to my portfolio, where I will start coordinating with other people under one umbrella. So I do have people that I can recommend, but now I can actually say, okay, I have a therapist that I'm paying for. After the money comes in, I can do that.
Okay.
But right there at this time, no, but that is the plan. That is the goal for 2025.
Okay.
Is to bring someone in, and not just a licensed therapist, but also I have a few friends in the medical field that's willing to volunteer some time.
Okay.
So I'm putting that together, and as I put it together, when we talk again next year, you'll see.
There we go. And I always say life is about connecting. And that's the huge part. If you can connect to yourself and understand what you're about and how you want to operate, you'll be able to connect to others, that making some really valuable connections as well.
And I thank you for what you're doing, because I've seen some of your podcasts. I've commented on a few. And it's you're doing that other reach.
Thank you.
That other reach that a lot of us need, but also the fact that you're including. That's what I love about what you're doing, is the inclusion.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big people person, and I just want to see people win. And that's why I do what I do, because I know where I was in my headspace, the mental quicksand and the drinking. I never declared I was an alcoholic or never went to an Alcoholic Anonymous, but I can tell you there was my days where I was trying to find something in there and there wasn't nothing in there. And I had to really step my game up. And like I said, I've seen it up close and personal. I had a friend of mine pass away at 49 years old because he couldn't put the bottle down in his kidney. And so, like I said, and just being in the household. So I understand the power of it and how you can really ruin yourself and ruin your family and just really take yourself down a long path. So my question for you, though, you mentioned, you said, I have my days. So talk to me about how you help you. Do you have routine? How do you help you when you need the help? Because that's a problem. That's not a problem, but that's an issue with caretakers, right? Or caregivers. Yeah. They tend to forget about themselves. So how do you help you?
For me, I am very spiritual.
Okay.
And my first thing of the day, even though I have my son at home and I care for my son, my first thing of the day is have my conversation with God.
Okay.
Right. And I tell people it's God, then me, then my family, then everybody else.
All right.
I start a conversation and I ask for guidance. And, you know, when I get to that point where I doubt him, I'll come back and I say, Father, you know, I'm human.
Yeah.
I want to be like you, but I can't.
Right.
Because when somebody mess with me, I want to cuss them out, and I am going to, you know, even though I do it diplomatically now, you know, I try to be, ooh, or I go quiet,
right.
But I have that conversation. I ask for that guidance. But one of the things I have is I have an awesome support group of friends. Some friends, we've been friends since the 70s.
Okay.
And I can pick up the phone. I have friends that, so I send daily notices to all my ladies, and I call them queens. And I have a few guys now, so I call them kings, right?
Yes.
And I tell them, if I don't get a response from you, I'm calling you.
Okay.
You know, so one of them did that to me recently. She said it's been 2 days. And it's funny when she did it. It's funny and it's not funny. It's funny when she did it because at our tea party last year, the fundraiser, we had an all-white tea party at a place called Main Street Connect.
All right.
And we, the song that says, I've been drinking for 5 days, have you checked on me?
Oh.
Yeah, there's a song. And it's a beautiful song. It's sad, but it's beautiful because it's hitting a lot of everything. And it says, you know, but you don't know me. You think you know me, you don't know me. Right. And I said that. I said, when we go out as a group, I've always made it my point of duty, not that I wanted to be mother hen, but if I'm on number 1 drink or 2 and you're on 5, 6, and 7, I need to check you.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Right.
You know, when we leave out, we've always had this thing where everybody needs to be accounted for.
Yeah.
So if we're driving together, fine. If we're driving separately, when you reach home, I need to hear your voice that you're in the house. Don't text me.
Right.
Okay. If I don't hear from you, then I'm on my way to your house.
There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where my function is. And when I get agitated and I decided that I'm going to fuss with people and tell them they're not on the same mission, they don't understand the mission that I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. But my therapy starts with everybody that I can help. And sometimes it tears me up. Sometimes I get very emotional because my hands are tied.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for funding or you want funding and you have people that don't do what I do, that get funding every year from the same people, and we go out there. So we do peer-to-peer funding.
Okay.
We do, so I have friends, we have an account set up so everybody make a deposit every month.
Hold on a second. I want to make this announcement to the audience. Dial in, pay attention. She's telling you how you can help her because she can't do what she does by herself. She needs some help. Go ahead. This is here we go. Let them know. How can they help?
You can help by donating at HHELP.org.
All right.
I have Cash App. You can call me 240-338-1365. I do PayPal, Venmo. I do everything right there. Or you can mail us a check at HELP I'm sorry. We're going to do 130-108 Michael Court, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20904. Again, HHELP.org.
I'll make sure that's in the description. I'll definitely make sure because we want to get you. Want to get you the help that you need. You're doing some big work here. This is some heavy lifting right here because there's the mental side of this that people have to deal with. Self-care, self-awareness. There's a lot going on, and you got a lot of lifting to do.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tight.
But you built
tight. It. But as we do this, we do the fundraising. We just did the popcorn, double good.
Okay.
Oh my God, those popcorns are addictive. And We get 50% of that. So we're doing little things in the community to constantly have funds going. But if not, the ladies have stepped up, and some of the guys too. I have a few business guys that have stepped in and said, okay, here. We do have two major fundraisers a year. We do the Tea Party. September is going to be September 7th at Main Street in Rockville.
All right.
And then we have we're actually going to do our Masquerade Christmas Ball.
Okay.
December 7th at Main Street in Rockville again. And we normally do a New Year's gala, but for some reason New Year's Eve one doesn't kick the way it should. It's the therapy part of it. It's just when you reach someone and someone says, I've never had a Christmas party. Mm-hmm. When a 5-year-old look at you and say, I've never had a Christmas tree because my mom drinks it out.
Yeah.
Or you see the bruises, you see the 5-year-old smack the baby in the stroller, and it's like, why? Well, daddy do it to mommy all the time, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's not okay.
Yeah.
So those are some of the stuff I do. I'm sitting there with some single dads because mom is strung out, showing them how to comb the hair.
Right.
And this is what you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me a little bit. So you've been doing this for how long? Like 4 years?
So it's been 3 years legitimately, but this has been going on for a while.
All right. So do you have any success stories that you like to really share with the audience or with everybody when you talk to that one person that you thought, man, this person, and then it clicked and they figured it out?
We had one situation, well, we had a few, but one in particular was recently. It was a mom and 2 boys. Mm-hmm. Whatever is going on with her, it's mental, but not sure if it's pills or liquid.
Yeah.
But anyway, the teenager wasn't going to school. And I said, okay, maybe I should come and pick him up and take him to school. So I would go at 6:30 every morning.
Okay.
Pick him up, take him to high school to make sure he goes to class. He went to class 14 days out of the whole year last year.
Wow. Okay.
I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I would pick him up, take him to school, drop him there, then take him to the bus. She had an excuse for everything. So she didn't want him to go to school, but she was always strung out. Mm-hmm. So with her being strung out, he had to stay home to help his baby brother.
Right.
And I would take him, but I would also pick him up. And in doing that, I had the conversations with him. And I heard the horror side of what was going on at home.
Okay.
So I said, okay, what can I do? I went to Giant in not downtown Silver Spring, one on Cherry Hill Road. And I said, I need a holiday meal. So we do 24 families.
Okay.
Every holiday.
Wow.
And we do a meal.
All right.
So we team up with Giant and Safeway. Uh-huh. You get the gift cards. And in the process of doing that, but she was out of the range. So we went to her and we said, yeah. And she looked at me, she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you do this. What got me was when the young man says to me, do you know, nobody ever told me I love you? Do you know my dad put my mom out when I was 3 months old? And I don't know what to do, but thank you so much. Held on to me and we both cried.
Yeah.
Those are my aha moments.
Oh yeah, that's big.
When a 5-year-old
huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I said, you know, this is what I need you to do. I really need you to focus and help mom. Here's my number. I don't care what time it is. Call me. I'm right down the street from you. And she decided to cut communication. So I went knocking. And he was so excited to see me. So I have a few ha-ha moments.
Yeah. And
I have some.
Let you know, hey, you're doing the right things because you are. You're making some impact, whether they're stopping or not. You're making some impact. And I always tell people, you know, you got the 5 people that you'll never be able to reach. And so because of that, you have to be a farmer. And so you plant the seed. Hey, look, this is how things can get better for you. I understand you're not going to listen to me, but somewhere down the line, somebody else is going to come and tell you the same thing, and maybe it'll kick in.
Yeah. Well, I've been fortunate. I teamed up 2 years ago with Target, where we did 24 families for Christmas. And when I say Target stepped up, where there were 2 families per store.
Yes.
And I would drive to Hagerstown. I would drive to Frederick, because these families were undocumented and they did not want to be photographed.
Right.
And they wanted to do it. And I said, they're not going to be photographed, but I'll gladly come and pick the stuff up. I would pick up, I had a list. And when I say that store stepped up, same thing with Giant and Safeway, same thing with Wegmans.
Wow.
So, and now Costco is coming in this year.
Wow.
With helping with a grant, not just the gift cards. So it's coming in.
Yeah.
It's coming in.
Small victories create that momentum shift that take you where you want.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I like that you get knocked down, you get back up and you figure a way.
And that's what we do. And again, we go back to helping hands. Yes. When you interact those hands and you hold that person, sometimes you cannot help them, but you can direct them to somebody that can. Yeah. And when we have these conversations, I could come to you and say, hey, Eric, I have a problem with this. Can you help me?
Yeah.
And you may say, you know what, I don't, but I know a doctor friend that can, and again, it goes word of mouth.
Right.
So yeah, we're not a big nonprofit yet.
Yeah.
But it's about helping, and we're focusing on the community, but we do have undocumented residents, because as long as they reside here for more than 30 days, they're considered residents, right? Right. So we do have those undocumented residents that need our help. Some of them is just how to maneuver the system, how to get the help. And you go and you see a lot of them sleeping on the street, they're homeless. Some of them come here, their families are helping, and then the families get tired of them. You and I know what it's like. We have visitors coming and you're like, oh my God, when are you leaving?
Right. You still here? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's no milk in the fridge. I just bought a gallon of milk yesterday. Right. So, and when you're coming with families, and that's what's been going on. So we have a lot of situations. So For Imprint is a big supporter of mine. They're a branding company. And they'll donate For Imprint, the number 4.
Okay.
Imprint. And then what they'll do is they'll donate insulated lunch bags or tumblers and stuff. When we go, we find the homeless, quote unquote, alcoholics, yes, and we give them something to eat. Okay. We give them something to drink. Some of them have dietary needs. So we have to be mindful of what we're doing, and be careful. So it's a lot, but it's not a one-time thing. It's every day or every week. This is what we do.
Yeah. It's going to take, it's going to take continuous work, continuous effort, battling through it, having those sessions of, Lord, I know you got me, but I need some strength right now.
All the time. All the time. Yes.
So can you give us how they can connect with you again, please?
Well, you can connect with me through HELP. Well, my email is B as in boy, J as in John, D as in David, A as in Apple, W as in Winston, K as in King, I as in Igloo, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, at HHELP.org.
All right.
Or 240-338-1365, or on the website at HHELP.org.
And LinkedIn, always.
And LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram.
Yeah. So is there anything specific you'd like to let everybody know before we go today?
Let us be your helping hands. You're not alone. You're not alone. Reach out when you need some help. Talk to somebody. And just remember, if you don't talk, we won't know. We can assume, we can guess. But those 3 first letters in assume, I don't like them with letters. So, how can I help you?
I like it. I love it.
How can I help you?
I love it. BJ Dawkins, thank you for joining me today. You are truly a momentum shifter. I love the mission. I love what you're doing. It really connects with me because I understand some things about it. And I know that you're going through some trials and tribulations, but I'm wanting you to get the help. I want you to get some more support. to really build that organization that you see, that vision that you're creating. So thank you for joining me again. You're a true momentum shifter, impacting many lives. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Momentum Shift, the podcast designed to get you inspired, get you moving so you can get results. Why? Because we know you're stuck and we know you're not meant to be there. There's opportunities to change your life, and we want you to really start shifting into the life that you were built to live, that designed to live. So with that, keep pushing because nobody's going to do it for you. And if you need some help, we're here to help you. We're going to check the description. Matter of fact, go back and play this over again, get some of these nuggets that Ms. Dawkins left for you today. And then hit her up on the website. You can help her out with funding. You can help her out with any resources, or if you just need the help, contact her. Until next time, take care. Are you feeling stuck, dreaming of a life beyond your current boundaries? I'm Collier, and I've been where you are. Now, as an international speaker, 3-time international best-selling co-author, veteran, and the host of the Momentum Shift podcast and radio show, I've dedicated my life to helping people just like yourself embark on a transformative journey to unlocking your inner greatness. With my wealth of experience and a proven track record, I guide individuals to break through barriers and create life-changing momentum shifts. Having been featured in news and magazine articles, on television shows, and spoken on stages like the National Press Club and Columbia University, my message has inspired people worldwide to turn the impossible into possible. On my show, the Momentum Shift podcast and radio show, I'm committed to sparking a movement that empowers others to shift momentum in their lives, offering motivational insights, interviews, and thought-provoking discussions. If you are ready to redefine what's possible and unlock your potential, then subscribe to my mailing list for exclusive content and updates. Join a community of motivated individuals just like yourself on the path to greatness. Subscribe now and transform your life at CericCollier.com.
Thank you for joining The Momentum Shift, a show bringing you interviews and stories of incredible people to help you get inspired, get moving, and get results to ultimately create the life-changing momentum shift that will improve your life. Join host Eric Collier, the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern for The Momentum Shift, the show and change you've been looking for.